Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's good old friend Jesse Lee here with another garden update. Um, considering that we've had 5, 6 days of rain, not a lot of progress, but some. So we're gonna show you what we just got and what we just planted and what's going good. So let's flip you around here and show you what it's all about. Okay, of course we have Mr. Spider. If you can see him, yeah, you can see him. But these are all red beets. And if you ever planted red beets, at least the ones I plant, they literally come in like little pods, like 3 seeds per pod. So if a lot of people say, "Oh, they're planted so close together," you can't really help that. I mean, it's you plant one little pod and 3 come up. So it is what it is. We got a bunch of baby onions, and I tried to, them seeds are so tiny, they're so hard to try to get 1 seed per. But I got it down to like mostly just 2. A couple have a 3 or 4, but for the most part, I got them down to about 2. So hopefully they'll get some good onions this year. Just starting to come up. We have celery finally. So it's really tiny and really hard to see right now. So there's some more right there. So they're tiny but they are growing. But trying to see them is need a damn microscope. So and we got the bunching onions, which I didn't do a lot of because these guys grow like crazy, and you know, you really can never use all the bunching onions. So onions, yeah, because they only get one, bulb. But the bunching onions, no, they only get little bulbs, and we use mainly the tops. I mean, we use the bottoms too, but every year we always have um, leftover scallions or bunching green onions. But no, considering we had 5 days of rain, 6 days of rain, stuff is growing. Now, I did dig all these up just to check, and they all have tails on them. When I say tails, I mean the seeds have little tails on them. That means they did germinate, they just haven't come up yet. So we have the Marconi, that's right here, which is a very big, gigantic pepper, about 12 inches long. We have the Yellow Monster, which is a monster bell. We're doing a lot of monster sweets this year. We have the Sunshine, or Sunrise, sorry. Sunrise, Sunset, whatever. Sweet bell pepper. It looks just like a yellow, like a yellowish orange, but super sweet. We have a heavyweight. We actually have 2 of them. We got this one and the one I just planted because I just got them in the mail today. This is from an unreliable source, so I bought 2 different kinds from or the same kind from 2 different people. I want to see if truly, because the guy that I got seeds off of this from, the company I got, my Carolina Reapers did not turn out to be Reapers. They turned out to be Sauvignon Habaneros. So I got some of them growing in my grow room, so we're going to see if they turn out to be Carolina Reapers this year or if they're, again, Habaneros, Sauvignon Habaneros. But these are the big ones that are like the size of softballs or small cantaloupes. Um, I just dug down. I didn't think these were actually going to do it, but these are baby bells from the grocery store. I just took the seeds out, dried them, popped them in, and they got tails on them as well. So we're going to have some good baby bells. And like I said, last but not least, we got the heavyweight. Well, like I said, I just got it. I dug through them, and all the dark seeds I picked out because they're the dead or immature seeds. Kept all the cream colored ones, and they are the good seeds. And I have 2 spots. That's going to be a California Wanderer and a Color Bell. So 2 last spots for that. So this whole box is sweets. So Marconi, um, Yellow Monster, Sweet Sunrise, Heavyweight, another Heavyweight, and then it's going to be California Green Bell Wanderer and Color Bell, which it could be any color. It could be purple, could be chocolate, could be yellow, blue, or not blue, green. There's no blue in peppers in nature. Um, Actually, I don't think there's any blue, maybe blueberries, but that's about it. But it could be any color pretty much. So yeah, I mean, I gotta mow the lawn. It's still a little wet, so but no, it's doing well. It's, you know, if we would have had 5 days of sun instead of 5 days of rain, these guys have probably been double or triple the size. But hey, as long as I know that these guys got tails and they are germinating. These darn little helicopter things, these maple tree, things grow everywhere when they land in your garden. But now we have about 6 inches of Miracle-Gro on top of mushroom mulch. We have mushroom mulch underneath. There's mushroom mulch mixed with topsoil underneath, and then there is 6 inches of Miracle-Gro. And once everything comes up and is stable enough, I'm going to be mixing the shake and feed into it. Let's come over here, but yeah, we're going to be doing the shake and feed in the garden, as well as water soluble, as well as the Miracle-Gro soil, because when it rains heavy like this, all that nutrients gets taken right out of that Miracle-Gro. So, and Miracle-Gro is great soil, but if it rains heavy, all them nutrients are going right out the bottom. So we do shake and feed and water soluble, and once everything starts blooming, then we're going to be doing the Tiger Bloom. Got me thousands of peppers last year, so for $50 a gallon, it is well worth it. I recommend you go online and buy the Tiger Bloom. And as soon as you start to see any of your flowers, now don't use it on like onions or red beets or stuff like that, but anything that gets a flower, like actual flowers, or peppers, tomatoes, anything gets a flower, use it on it once you start seeing your first flowers. I don't use it on the first flowers. I usually wait about a month until it gets about 10 to 20 flowers on it. Then I, really start to put it on, because the NPK is kind of low. So you don't really, if you put it on too early, you're not going to have enough nitrogen to get the plant nice and big. You're going to get nice and flowering, but the plant's going to be small. So let the plant grow outside for a month or two, then put it on. That's my recommendation. But anyway, we have a cilantro right here. I don't know if that's mud on them. It's probably just mud, or maybe some sun scald or something, but you know what, we'll just take that off. But no, when we got this guy, he was just this tiny little, thing, and in a month we still got to get basil. So we got cilantro, basil, oregano, and parsley. Let's go over and check out the tomatoes. Here's the tomatoes. These guys are already starting to get flowers on them. Now, when we got these guys, no more than about 3 weeks ago, I'm not shitting you, we're about this big. They were only maybe 4 or 5 inches big. So that's pretty good growth in a month. And I already put the cages on. Guys, put your cages on early. Do not wait, because if you wait trying to feed all that through the cages. See, last year what I had to do is I had to actually cut the cages, and I had to take the cages and I had to actually take them and pull them apart. I had to take them like this, pull them apart, put them down in, and squeeze them together and try to, and I, obviously I wrecked your cages to a point. They still work, but, they're not as good as they were. So put them on early, guys. Trust me, it's going to save you a lot of heartache later on. And if you know a pepper plant or tomato plant is one of the big tall ones, get the taller ones. There's like this. The tomato's going to get 2 or 3 feet above this. So these aren't ideal, but they work to do what I need them to do. But nope, this guy has a bunch of flowers in there as well. He's doing good. Got all the lower branches clipped off, so there's no disease. I already got the eggshells in there. I put them in months ago. Ideally, you want to dry them and then grind them into a powder for faster release. I like to do them this way, just crush them by hand. I don't dry them or anything because they're going to get wet anyway. And just mix them in the topsoil. Because I like to feed calcium through the whole year. Because if you're just grinding them up, you're feeding calcium immediately, but you don't need it right away. You need the calcium when they start to, when when the tomatoes actually get on there to prevent blossom end rot. So I'd actually do both. I'd probably put, dry them, grind them up, put them in early, but also early on. As soon as you plant them in, put some bigger chunks in there as well, so that way you actually can continue to feed. Now these eggshells will, they can be in here for 10 years and they'll still not break down. I mean, so, but they will help. And there's some little blooms there. But no, I am going to be getting some lime here, some fast acting lime, closer to when we actually get tomatoes on there. And yep, there's some more buds in there, and so a lot of people are like, pull these off now, let them, just like peppers, let them go, let them do what they do. Besides some bottom pruning, you don't need to really, I don't mind suckers. I mean, it's a controversial, but I don't really mind suckers that much, because honestly, I think them little suckers in there, they're gonna get tomatoes on them. So last year I did them in 3-gallon pots, and we got 2 crispers in your freezer. Like the bottom crispers, we got 2 of them full, and that was just on 3. It was on 3-gallon plants and 1 in a 1-gallon pot, and there were 2 were big boys and 2 were Romas, and these are all 4 Romas. So all 4 of these are Romas in 5-gallon pots. So we're going to get probably at least, I would say, 30 to 40 tomatoes per. So say 40, 80, 120, 160. So we're going to get well over 150 tomatoes. So we're going to can it and make salsas, and we're also going to be doing like tomato sauces and even some chunky tomatoes, just to put in like chili and stuff. So yeah, so that's the garden. Everything's doing good. Like I said, the other peppers inside will be growing. Will be going. Sorry, will be going outside here in about 10 days, 10 to 12 days, about the 4th or 5th. And then the littler ones will be maybe a week or 2 after that. So super hots, I don't know if we're going to get much this year, just because it's so late and I started late. That was my mistake. I should have started back in no later than March 1st. I started April 26th. Sweets, I have no problem. Those are 60 to 100 days, and we got 120 days. No problem. I think we'll get plenty of them. So we'll just see how fast these super hots can go. I'm going to juice the hell out of them. I'm going to load them up with steroids and Miracle-Gro till no tomorrow. And last year it seemed to work. So even if I get an early harvest, like an early, even if I get an early first round, I might not, like last year I got like 3 rounds of peppers. So even if I get a early round, just the first rounder, I'll be happy. So we'll see y'all later. Take it easy. I'm Jesse from Jesse Co Peppers. Take it easy, y'all. Peace.